Has Gleba died? Gleba Voyager? You're waiting until you build out more thruster oxidizer. But is Gleba still running? Yes. Holy cow. You're actually limited by your thruster oxidizer now. We need a faster science ship. I can just output the signal from constant combinator at minus 50. Can I set a constant combinator to minus 50? Oh, yeah. Okay. So yeah, I don't need the arithmetic at all. Alright, then I'll slide you over. So you go here. Metallic chunk, minus 50. Carbonic, minus 50. Oxide, minus 50. Run you onto red as well. You're also reading red. You'll compare it. Each is going to be the same. I think this will work. Let's go test it. 500, 1,000, 1,500, 2,000. Off you go. Feels good to use the rockets again. It's been a while. And then how's artillery clearing going? You look done, which means we should be starting over here very soon. Where is my artillery train right now? Over here. You're getting close to full. You're probably out of tungsten again. Does Volcanus just not produce tungsten that fast, or am I just not bringing over that much? Looks like you might not be bringing over that much. You should extend radar coverage down there. You can't see anything that's going on. You are down to 154. So, this patch is about to die. But I want to get it to finish up first before I switch it over. Send up another 200. How's Fulgora doing? Fulgora's actually extremely backed up right now. But sometimes they move. Do I not have a green... I don't have a green circuit destroyer. That's the problem. You guys are all full on green circuits. I can get another... I can't get another batch in there. I need foundation. Where can I put another rack of crushers? Over here, maybe? Yeah, you should do a parameterized blueprint for this, then. You don't need any of these for. Parameterize this. Instead of ice, we want that to be green circuit. Solid fuel, we're not doing that. And I'll just stick you, like, here. Is that the only thing you're full on? No, you're also super full on copper cable. Are you voiding copper cable? You are, but only on 2 machines. You probably want to void copper cable as well. Also, probably iron plate. You're only voiding it in 2 machines. That's probably not good enough. I think I'm fine with you just voiding everything out of green circuits. But I may change my mind on that later. We'll see. I'm going to let you run for a bit, and you should be fine. Let's go get more platform into our rockets. Might want to think about beaconing our rockets soon. They don't quite build fast enough for my liking. We didn't leave ourselves room to beacon our rockets, though. We were going to run train track directly through here. That's okay. You can be patient. Patience is a virtue. While you're waiting, go get radar coverage on your coal mine. You finished that. You have not finished that, but I'm going to ignore it. You haven't finished that, I'm going to ignore it. You did part of each of these. Surely ignoring our power grid won't come back to bite us or anything. So this coal is chugging along. Any other mines missing radar? You're fine. Although, why are you waiting here? What exactly is going on here? Iron ore pickup is closed as a station right now. No, iron ore drop-off is closed as a station. Because you're full. We're really... Oh, you know why we're not consuming anything? Is because we're stuck on glebicides. Alright, let's change that. Let's go 22, 23, 24, 25. Just so you're working on something. Otherwise, this base doesn't actually consume anything, and it makes me feel very uncomfortable. Do you all turn on now? Yep, there you go. Okay. Send another bunch of platform up. Slowly starting to assemble this thing. Oh, you know what we can put in here to fill space? Solar panels and accumulators. Just in case we need to generate a little supplementary power. Or hold on to a little bit of extra. It's not going to be enough to keep things running. Like, basically ever. But it will at least take up a little space. You could even shorten this belt down. And then get a second solar panel in there. I just want it to look cluttered up here. I want it to look like there's a lot of stuff going on. Anywhere else you can sneak one of those? Not really, but I am looking at these and going... Could move that over by one. You can move this over by one. It doesn't buy you any accumulator space. But up here will. Nah, I don't want to redo those circuits. This is too much of a pain in the butt. Alright, so that fills you out kind of nicely. The one thing that we still don't have up here that I really wish we had is a water tank. And I would actually really like to find a spot for one. But I'm not immediately sure where I have space. You have space here. Water. And then down here, you can get rid of one of those accumulators. And you can send this belt underground to put a tank in there. And then you have steam backup storage. You have water backup storage. And you're feeling fairly happy about that. Alright, that's helped it to look a little more busy. Steam tank's a problem? Oh, because steam tank connects to the fuel. Yep, I see it. I see it. I need to move it over by one. Let's tear this belt out. steam tank can go here and it's fine. And then you would come up. There. Now steam tank is fine. You should also probably circuit your nuclear reactor. Need temp. Enable when temp. Less than 500, less than 600. I don't think I'm gonna bother circuiting the nuclear reactor to the steam tank, because the steam tank is already a buffer for spare temperature. It's already performing its function. I'm just going to read directly off of the nuclear reactor temp. Oh, wait, you know what you could do here? You saw it. You saw it very briefly in your mind's eye. How did it work? Not like that. I think it worked like that. Yeah. You have to go. You have to go. I'll find another place for the laser. I just want more engines. It looks like the thrust profile of the ship looks too narrow. This is going to kind of screw up my thrust ratios, or my fuel ratios, but I don't care. So oxidizer connects there, and then that is a fuel pass-through that can come up to here. And then we're going to do the same thing on this engine. There we go. Now it looks a little chunkier back there, which I like. And then where do you fit in the laser turret that you needed? I think it goes here. And it sits in front of the gun turret. Also, those gun turrets don't have filters on them. They don't have targeting profiles. And then we'll do another laser turret here. Okay, I think that's a cool looking ship. After we filled it in with a few solar panels, I think it's really come together. It has a decent amount of storage. We have 6 cargo bays on it. It has a good number of asteroid collectors. I do wish that it was like a little slimmer in the middle and maybe like curved backwards instead of forwards, but for now I'll take one that's just kind of bat-shaped. I think that's kind of neat. I think it's good. I think it's good. And considering I scratch built it, and I didn't use a blueprint, I think it's fine. The only other ship of this size that I've ever built was one that I blueprinted. So I'm glad that I have custom built this one. And before we end tonight, I will show that. $200 more space platform. Did that change your space platform math? I think it did a little bit. Yeah, you only need 698 now. Oh well, I'll send up a couple extra, and then I'll send it back down if we end up not needing it. You guys working away. Good. Any of my other mines died? Stone's fine. Copper's holding out great. That stone is kind of dying. That copper's holding extremely strong. Coal is fine. And that's all we got. I would really like you to start getting some shell shipments. I don't like them on auto request. I don't. I don't like the way that auto request tries to logic out what a ship is supposed to get. Maybe it's improved, but like when I was playing Space Age early on, maybe it's gotten better after a couple patches. It would send up way too much of random requests. I would request like 10 red inserters, it would send up 50. And I'm like, I do not need 50 reds. Now, does it matter in a base of this scale that's producing this much to waste a couple extra rockets? Not really, but I still like to be precise. I like to send up exactly what it needs. I don't know why you're lagging so far behind. Oh well. Can I start giving you stuff yet? There we go. And is that all the space platform that you need? It should be. No, I think you're gonna need more. You're gonna be at 298? No, 248. And we're about to send up 200. Yeah, you're gonna need one more stack. There you go. So that should be all the platform. And then we'll get an accurate read of how much actual stuff I need to send up to that thing. I know that's going to need one nuclear reactor. So I can grab one nuke and send that up in rocket number 6. And then I can wait for an accurate read on what you need. This is a problem. You're supposed to be nuclear reactor only. I guess I'll go put a ton of this copper away. Yoink. Lab's chugging away. Great. So you get the nuclear reactor. It weighs a ton, all by itself. Gleba Voyager is at Gleba. You have none egg science ready? What's up with that? Why don't you have any LDS? You should be making that. Why don't you have any plastic? Oh no, the plastic factory died again. We're gonna have to go and fix that. Also, the rocket fuel factory died. Oh, I need to figure out why those things just randomly die sometimes. I'm not gonna be able to put it off any longer. Let's set a more aggressive nutrient threshold. Maybe that'll help. I mean, I guess I don't have to do it, like, right now. It's okay if that Gleba base dies completely. I can kickstart everything with nutrients again, including the power grid. So I think that's where we'll have our inaugural trip of the Volcanus Provisioner head off to. Alright, that is all of your initial stuff going up. You know that you're going to need at least a stack of blue inserters. So let's go grab those. Stack of blues. You're going to need at least 100 pipe. Stack of that. You're going to need at least 6 cargo bays. Well, you're going to need 6 cargo bays. You actually just know how many cargo bays you're going to need. Cargo bay. 120 steel. LDS. Also, these things are big. So. Platform cannot have hole. Where do you have a hole? Oh, I think you built it. I think you just got confused, but you've built it now. Here's your 6 cargo bays. 100 pipe is 500 kilos. You need 177. So take 150. $177. And then how many blue inserters you need? 89. There you go. That'll be 55. There you go. Send up your cargo pods. They're only 600. You're sending up 55 right now. That'll be 75. 80 underground pipe, 283 blue belt. Okay. We'll go grab like 300 blue belt. And that'll be the last 3 silos. Because each of these is going to be 3. Dunk. That is next launch squared away, but I'm going to have to fire this one manually. Which is fine. It is perfectly okay. Right, you have to build first, I forgot. Don't need that anymore. You guys are grabbing tungsten plate so you can continue making shells. Good. You are going to Volcano's Provision. You're also going to Volcano's Provision. And then what else do you need up there? 10 asteroid collectors. Okay. Wait, I'm missing a blue splitter? How am I missing a blue splitter? Oh. Yeah, I guess I am missing a blue splitter. Well, I'll grab that when I come back. You're also going to need thrusters. How many thrusters are on this thing? 11. Okay. 10 of these. You're also going to need crushers. How many crushers are on this thing? 10 as well. Yoink. You're also going to need chem plants. Probably like 30. You have chem plants on you, though. And then grab a blue splitter. Because somehow your labs are missing one. Yoink. Alright. What are we sending up this time? We are sending up 10 crushers. We are sending up a lot of thrusters. Sending up 10 asteroid collectors. Sending up 20 chem plants. That is all of those rockets allocated. What are you going to need for next trip? 17 laser turrets, 26 guns, 4 foundries. Foundries are probably very big. No, foundries are kind of... are 20. So, stack of gun turrets and stack of laser turrets. You know you're building them somewhere. Here's gun turrets. Is it more than 40? It's 26. You're good. And laser turrets. Good. We're probably going to need more than that. 4 heat exchangers. We should get the nuclear reactor up and running, so let's get heat exchangers. Which should be up here with the rest of the nuclear reactor stuff. And then 6 turbines. And then pipe underground, grab 100. You actually already have almost 100 on you. Artillery train is getting ready to leave. Off you guys go. We still haven't started clearing out there yet, though. I want to secure that uranium ore. You are done firing, though. So the only station currently requesting ammo for the artillery train is this one. In that case, I'm going to send it manually. Oh, never mind. You're requesting up here as well. I guess you have a couple more nests to shoot. That's okay. It's really not many. And then it's only here. That's actually the last wall we needed artillery coverage on. I might want to put a couple against this wall, because then they can actually hit that uranium mine. I'm going to go do that. Go grab me like another 10 artillery turrets. And then we will have a fully automated wall. And that's great. That's a good feeling. When you know that biters cannot break into your walls anymore. Unless they get, like, really, really evolved. So you need 4 foundries. Heat exchangers. And then how many more blue inserters? That's going to be just enough to push you over. 14. How about 2? You're going to need steam turbines. 6. You're going to need 17 laser turrets, 3 green assemblers. Seven laser turrets? That's perfect. Because then I could put 10 in here. 26 gun turrets. Couple more blues. Another 4. How many reds do you need up here? 6? Okay. And then you need 1 arithmetic combinator. 1 constant combinator. 1 constant combinator. And 1 decider combinator. So here's your constant. Here's your decider. You also need solar panels. 4 of them, and 8 accumulators. You should have accumulators on you. You don't. You're gonna have to go grab them. And then also send up the pipe underground. Also probably send up some tanks. And then you can actually get that platform turned on and producing things, because the startup on them takes a nightmarishly long amount of time. You are making accumulators in the mall, right? No. Okay. Then add accumulators to the mall. Can I get a storage chest, please? Thank you. How are you getting batteries in here, though? You have to be making batteries somewhere, right? Surely. Yeah, you have 11,000. Alright, that's good. Accumulator, circuit condition. We're never going to need a ton of these, but we'll say 50 times 40. Maybe we want to transition to solar at some point, I don't know. I also don't know how batteries are getting in here, but it's finding them somehow. So I'm not going to ask. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. You need 8 express undergrounds. You only have 5. You didn't bring... How many tanks do you need? I can give you tanks. 6. There you go. You need over 100... You need 80 pipe underground. There's 32. Send it. Go get yourself some more undergrounds. Maybe after we build this prototype ship, I'll turn on automatic delivery and we'll see how much extra wastage there is. I am kind of curious about it. Also, I see random science in here. That should not be any other flasks. Yeah, there's some. There's a bunch. There's a bunch. There's a bunch. We can get some of that put away. Slowly start cleaning out some of the garbage that's in this logistics network. Alright, you need... Oh, you sent. Did I fill you? I guess I did. With the underground. You have none power. That's fine. You need 8 more fast absorbers. There you go. Definitely sends extras and it's not precise, but you can't be bothered. I just want to see how many extras it sends, and maybe they improved it since the last time I tried. It may be better. And if it is better, I wouldn't mind having it automated. But if it's sending like 10 plus extra rockets, I don't know. That's a lot. You can have a rocket, or an engine. You need 9 efficiency 2s. I should still have those on me from when I was prototyping, but I guess I took them away. Give me some of you. And then you should grab everything else you need while you're up here. 6 more pipe underground, you have that on you. Heat pipe, you should grab. Accumulator, you can grab. Speed 2s you have. Undergrounds you have. So you just need to grab 8 accumulators. And this should be the last batch of rockets that go up. You need 9 of these. It should be 3 speed 2s. 1 for each foundry. Oh, you already have one in progress down here. There you go. There you go. 8 underground? 8 underground. Six pipe underground. 12 heat pipe. 8 accumulator. That's so sad. Launch 1 extra sad rocket. But that should be that ship turned on. Oh, we need to send it fuel. I could have put more fuel in that load. And then we also need to build our nuclear fuel interrupt for the ships. Sure. How are you getting rid of those uranium fuel cells? You're not. We're gonna slightly change the way this works then. Depleted. I don't really care what side of the belt it goes on, because anytime you see it, you're gonna hurl it off. Then you need a new section. We're going to call you Spacecraft Fuel Nuclear Space Fuel. Nuclear space fuel is going to consist of 50 uranium fuel cells. We're going to add an interrupt. The interrupt is low nuclear space fuel. It is going to interrupt other interrupts. The condition is item count. Uranium fuel cell less than 10. And then target, now these. Item count. Uranium fuel cell. No, wait, can I just do all condition, all request satisfied? Yes. That should work, because it's calling up 50. You have Navi's request deposit fuel so it can recycle. I could. But, like, it's 3 U-238. It's not that big of a deal. So you can both go back down. You can also go back down. And then you need what? You need 2 extra blue inserters and 50 fuel. Oh god, you can only ship 10 at a time? Okay. Well, you're gonna be fueled for a while up there. And then here's your 2 blues. Deliver to provision. All that careful work counting rockets, and we've wasted 2. Well, technically wasted 1. But off you guys go. Foundry working beautifully. Every single copper foundry is on. Love to see that. Sometimes it pays to take the time to ratio stuff out. Not necessarily because it's efficient, but because it looks good when it's running. Eight, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Find a requester chest to copy that request from. Paste it in. Have some inserters. And that should give us coverage almost all the way up to the uranium. We are going to have to manually target that uranium with some of those shots, but we might find an even better choke point out there. Why are you requesting artillery? I never connected you to the main wire. I also never put down artillery shells for you. Well, I want this wall to fire first. Are you still requesting? You are still requesting? How are you still finding things to shoot at out here? Or are you just building up the buffer? I think it may just be building up the buffer. Okay, that's fair enough. Are you good now? None bullets. Nuclear reactor is heating up. You're not grabbing. Why? Because you have the chunks set wrong. You're not supposed to be looking at chunks. You're supposed to be looking at asteroids. So this needs to be set to small metallic asteroid. Not grabbing because no power. It has power. The solar panels are running. Oh, you do have no power. Why would you have no power? What is consuming my power? Is this the normal power drain of this platform? If that's the normal power drain of the platform, that's a big problem. Alright, let's redo this. Metallic minus 50. Carbonic minus 50. Oxide minus 50. Power. You're producing 720. You're trying to draw 22 megawatts right now? Into what? Do these lasers have an internal power battery? Min consumption 24 kilowatts. They shouldn't... Well... No, maybe they are. That may be it. So you need to bring more solar panels up here, because this reactor isn't going to produce power if it has no water. Yeah, you need to send more solar panels up. A rocket can hold 50. So what would be a better way to kickstart that platform then? I can't believe it's trying to draw 22 right now. And it is all just passive draw on laser turrets. I have quality solar? I have not made quality solar, but like... The solar's supposed to be temporary in the first place. Oh, also, all of you need to be set to ignore unlisted targets. Let's go do that now. That should be all of them. I think. And then you ignore unlisted targets as well, because I don't want you wasting ammo. Yeah, I could also just temporarily delete the laser turrets. But even still, it is going to need just so much power to kick on. Like, min consumption on these things is 83 kilowatts. Min consumption on these 12. Yeah, I'm just going to have to send up more solar panels. That's fine. We'll do 2 rockets. We'll do 1 rocket that has, Actually, I think I could do like half and half. Because you're going to be... Each of these takes 9. So that would be enough for 4. No, that's enough for 3. Grab another 50. Let's see if that's good enough. I guess we have to build it in phases next time. We need to send solar panels up first, and then we need to send up chem plants, and then we need to send up collectors and crushers, and we need to save the foundries for last, and the laser turrets for last. Because as soon as we generate our first tiny bit of water, we'll be good to go. So we'll just put some solar panels out here. We'll see how many we need to add to get this thing to turn on. There we go. Okay. This is all we need to get it running. So it's actually not that many solar panels than we already had. But this starts things running. Although I don't know that you can grab an asteroid fast enough off that belt when it does that little turn like that. So we grab that ice asteroid? Nah, he wasn't feeling it. Yeah, you are filtering on these correctly. You see him grabbing. Circuit network does say 111 for each of them. I would like you to grab that oxide asteroid chunk, though. They say no, not enough power. Hey, at least you're running. I'm sending up another rack. That's not going to be enough. Off you go. Maybe we should keep these as a permanent fixture, just in case we have a power crisis in the future. We could have them hang off the back here, maybe. Could have one go like there, and there. But it seems like if this ship ever turns off, it's a giant pain to turn it back on. Okay, I see you grabbing oxide asteroids. That makes me very happy. You are going to immediately turn it into calcite, but if any of you... No, wait, ice is your waste product. Yeah, you just spit it right back out. This actually works really well. Wait. What happens if this fills up on calcite? You need dedicated ice crushers. And you don't currently have them. Yeah, because if these fill up on calcite, then you stop producing ice. You need 2 more crushers, at least. You need one that goes here, and one that goes here. How much ice do you make? You make 2.5. You need 8 per second to run these things at full tilt. Nuclear reactor briefly turned on. That's good. You take... Or just... well, calcite never makes it onto the main belt. Calcite only ever does direct insertion. Actually, calcite doesn't insert into this thing at all. What was I thinking here? You can fix it fairly easily. This can move to here. This can move to here. And then this can do filter calcite only. To here. But yeah, calcite never goes onto the main belt. So excess calcite can't ever get injected. I'm just going to build it dedicated crushers. So how's excess sulfur winding up on the belt? Oh, because you need an inserter that just removes sulfur forever. Yeah, if you see sulfur, you throw it out. And then I think technically this belt could get overloaded with ice. So you may want another inserter here that reads off of red. And is enabled when ice is greater than like 100. Because you should be reading all belt. Yeah. That looks fine. I'm going to assume that you're saying 0 over here because you're not built yet. And then how are you going to get these to work? You are going to pick up ice here. That's for asteroids. I think you're going to need to get rid of these laser turrets in the front. But you should have good enough coverage. So this wire needs to run to here and to here, so that you can go. This wire needs to run to here and to here, and then you can go. I don't remember what you're for, so you can be deleted. So you grab ice. You grab oxide chunks. You take out ice. And you put it on the appropriate side of the belt. You take out oxide chunks. And you put it on the appropriate side of the belt. So that will do you 5. And in dire circumstances, you need 8. I think that'll be good enough. Because I can't think of any case where you would need ice to run the nuclear reactor, but you wouldn't be consuming calcite to make fuel. It is scary, though, that technically that thing could break. You need 15 foundation, 4 blue, 2 red. You immediately forgot what you just said. 15 foundation, 4 blue, 2 red. $15 foundation, 4 blue, 2 red. You're also going to need 2 crushers, because you didn't take any old crushers apart. It's just not sending you that logistics request because there's no foundation under them, which means it also doesn't know about those blue inserters. You actually need 2 more blue inserters than the platform is telling you about right now. but it should be accurate on foundation. How's that going to do for you? We are generating a backlog of steam. We have 2,300 in reserve. We have full power. You are full on iron. You only need to grab oxide and carbon. So you can tear these down now. And you can move them to somewhere that's more aesthetically pleasing. Did you send up enough of belt? You didn't. You need 3 more belt. Yeah, we'll definitely do the next rocket as auto request. Because otherwise, you end up using a lot of the excess just because you're dumb and don't plan things correctly. You're producing ammo now. There is a slim possibility that ammo could overflow this belt, and it wouldn't leave room to put ice on. Which means that these 3 inserters also need to talk to the red network. You enable when ammo is less than like 400, because it's a long belt. Your power's dying. All of your steam is gone. Okay. Well, we can put the new solar panels down, and that'll be fine. You burned through your steam backlog that fast, huh? And then you need more foundation? No, you don't need more foundation. You need 2 more solar panels? No, you have 3. Why do you not want to put foundation down here? Oh, there you go. Figured it out. There we go. Actually, I think I'd rather you come up along the side. Yeah. That's better. You're gonna get into an argument with those inserters being there. But that's okay. And then you're mad that this is a donut. We'll fill in that one spot. It runs and you make water. And you make steam. Are you building up fuel yet? No. You also haven't created any oxide yet. That's because these crushers have no way of grabbing calcite. Huh. Yeah, that's a really good point. How are you gonna get them to grab calcite asteroids? Or ice asteroids? Slide you down by 1. So I can slide you down by 2. So that you can fit 1 more turbine back here. That's not good enough. There's a way out of this. You might have to give up on your water tank. But this steam belt doesn't, or this steam pipe doesn't need to go underground anymore. Yeah, this is the way out of this. You take out oxide, put in, take out, put in. Filters. Oxide. If you could find a way to slide this back by 1, you could get a tank in. I think you can do that. You would need to go to here. And then this needs to come around like this. And then you put water pipe here. You connect steam pipe here. There's no way to put a tank in there because it'll connect to the steam no matter what. Alright, we'll reestablish your water connection. There's nowhere that you could do underground belts. You could get a tank here. Couldn't you? Like this. And then back this heat pipe up by 1. No. What were you going for there? No, you could. It's just going to be really ugly. And by really ugly, I mean like really ugly. But then you can put a weird little accumulator here. You can also put a pair of weird little accumulators here, and one there, and one, like, here. Any other weird accumulator spots? Yeah, you can get an accumulator over here. It's slowly becoming square-shaped, but in, like, the other direction. Alright, 6 accumulators. For you. First foundation. You're good on foundation. 2 more pipe. Good. Next. 3 pipe to ground. Good. Next. 4 Blue belt. Good. Next. 3 heat pipe. Good. 6 accumulator, and that's it. You have 6 accumulator. You brought extras. Off you go. It's coming together. It's weird, but it's coming together. So at least this is moving again, which was our primary goal. We're producing power. As soon as I start to see... Oh, I have to change you. You're supposed to be iron. And then you're supposed to be iron. You did manage to get calcite, didn't you? How did you do that? I'm going to assume that it just happened. So as soon as I get just a little bit of thruster oxidizer, I want to have this thing fly out to Fulgora and pick up a ton of oxide asteroids, because there's big oxide asteroids out there. Once we see like 2,000 in this tank, we'll go ahead and give it a maiden voyage. Actually, you needed to fly to Gleba, because Gleba broke. So why don't you fly to Gleba on it as the maiden voyage? That artillery's not firing yet. Send me up to the Volcanus Provision. This is where we find out if this thing really works or not. Designing it is one thing. Watching it all turn on is one thing. Actually getting it to fly without taking damage and not run out of a ton of items is another thing entirely. So we'll see how it goes. Are you ready to send out your spare solar panels yet? No, I think I'm still a coward. Any oxide asteroid chunk, please? You can't grab at this corner, which kind of sucks. But it's okay. You can grab most other places. You have beautiful turret coverage. It is not possible to approach this ship without being shot by a turret. You're at 957 oxidizer. Oh, I'm so tempted to say that's good enough. I'm gonna say that's good enough. Novice, circuit condition, Gleba. Circuit condition, go. Just get us far enough that we can start to see oxide asteroids. That's one. Good. Good. We're coasting now, but we got far enough. We have oxide asteroids. And we've built this ship such that it should be able to keep most of the engines running full time as long as it's grabbing asteroids. It shouldn't need to buffer fuel like the other ships do. Now, it's not going to have enough to run them full time, but it should be able to buffer a bit. Or not buffer, it should just be able to, like, run flat out most of the time. And I want to see how fast you can go. Approaching 170. But that's not with full engine strength. The other thing that this chip does really well is it should just sit ammo. Because we have all these laser turrets taking out the small asteroids. So the only time these big turrets shoot is when there's a big asteroid. And all other times, they're just waiting. It looks like it's going to make this trip just fine. It has not come anywhere close to getting pressured by asteroid damage. We are destroying these with tons of time to spare. So very comfortable with that. And here we are at Gleba. I'm going to let your thruster oxidizer build up a bit while I go fix everything on Gleba. And then when I come back, we'll see just how fast that ship can go on the way back to Novus. So, what appears to be the issue? What do we think the issue is? The first thing I'm noticing is the jelly nuts aren't coming in all that fast these days. What's going on over here? You're not getting enough seeds? How is that even possible? That would be possible if these are shut off, for sure. Because that's your main source of jelly nut seeds. And why do you think this thing is shutting off? You know that it's really finicky about being able to unload the belt. So what if you output priority load? So that this inserter can always take off the belt. Does that fix your problem? The other thing that you could do no, that's not going to help you. Well, no, maybe it will. No, it won't. No, but maybe it will. Maybe it will. This water pipe is what I would like to move. You do need to go underground. That's unfortunate. I want to reconfigure how you're unloading. I want you to look like this thing. What kind of footprint would that take up? A big footprint. But you're at least happily running now. We have lots of nutrients circulating. You aren't running because you're out of jelly now. But we should be generating seeds off of this. Oh! You know what happened? I know exactly what's happening. You are only allowed to run if you have more than 0 jelly nut. And then you're only allowed to run if you have more than 0 Yumako. These machines are consuming... Also, why aren't you taking that spoilage out? Oh, because it's full. That's going to be another problem. These need decider combinators to control them. I need 2. So, what's happening? What's happening is logistics drones are dropping off seeds to these requester chests before they drop off seeds to the farms. So these machines are eating all of the seeds before they can get replanted. And the reason that we need a decider combinator for it is because you're also going to need this to talk to a robo. Where's your nearest robo? It's over here. Run a power line up from it. Read off green. It's connected to the box. It's not connected to the robo port. Or to the decider combinator. So you need to be an and the and needs to be you have more than 0 jelly nut, and you have less than 100 times 40 Yumako, and then you output 1 as a green check. And then that goes to you. And you are not connected to the logistics network. You are enable disable based on the check signal. And if check signal equals 1, you're allowed to run. Then you do the same thing for this one. Actually, you've done that one backwards. Copy and paste here. And then this one needs to be Yumako seed and artificial Yumako soil. Artificial Yumako. You're the wrong soil. You. No, that's wrong twice. You've gotten them backwards. Hold on. Slow down. You don't need to rush. Jelly nut. Artificial jelly nut. Jelly nut. Enable disable. Check equals 1. Then Yumako, Yumako. Enable disable check equals 1. You should also tell the inserter about that so you're not wasting nutrients. Otherwise, he's going to be dumping nutrients into this machine constantly, and it's just going to be generating spoilage for no reason. So now your main problem is that you have no jelly nut seed, and you need to make more of it fast. This is going to do some of it, but you need it to have jelly nut in the first place. So I think you need to go pick some jelly nut fruit, and you need to hand feed that thing to get it to turn back on. And then also turn the plastic on, because the plastic shut off for some reason, and it's probably because this throughput is bad. Oh, this isn't even the right belt. You need to get all these up to green belt. And then you should not be filtering. You can just output priority left. No, wrong. Output priority right. You turn in one, you go straight in, and you go up. I think that'll keep it on. I don't know what your problem is, but I also don't really care that you turn off. You have 200 excess spoilage. Oh, because this spoilage isn't going anywhere. That would be why that's happening. God, so much stuff is broken down here. Alright, we gotta go get jelly nut seeds. Go find ourselves a couple jelly nut trees, steal them, and take them back home. Great. Should be more than enough to rebuild our seed stockpile. You appear to be running just fine. You have built up... Did I tell you to make this many? You're not reading off the logistics network. That... I'm shocked that that hasn't broken. But let's get you to talk to this. So, there we go. You should no longer be allowing this machine to run. Is that correct? What inserter hand is controlling that? It should be the inserter hand that takes pentapod eggs, which would be you. You? No, it's the other one. Should be you. You should be check controlled. The biochamber actually doesn't need to be check controlled. No, wait, you've done that backwards. You never had this thing hooked up to anything. God, I can't believe that pentapods have not hatched in our base and destroyed everything. That is shocking. You're also slow. There you go. That's going to start to clear the spoilage backlog. As soon as that goes away, we'll be fine. I hear a rocket launching again. That means things have probably turned back on. I like that. Yeah, we have way more biochambers than we actually need. And then let's just get things that need jelly nut, eating jelly nut again. Because then we can start to get some seeds out of this exchange. How are you turning off? I think you're turning off for the same reason, that you can get overloaded by nutrients on one side of the belt, and then not have any left on the other side. You also just died. Would like nutrients, please? Thank you. So for whatever reason, splitting these belts is really important. So that we go like this. And we make sure everything loads onto the near side of the belt. I can't explain why it's important, but it is. So that's that one done. This one should be fairly easy. We also need to upgrade it. Actually, I want to move you back by one. because then I can have 2 bulk inserters taking nutrients out. Okay. I don't love that this is filled up already. I think you need to be lower. Like, how did you put 310 on this belt? Actually, that's fixable. I'll just give you a little more space to work with. And then you're empty. And there's space on the belt, so that should work. You look like you're fine. You're fine, you're fine, you're fine. And you have no jelly nut. So keep making seeds. Turning on lubricant production is going to help, because that's going to generate you excess jelly nut. This is a problem. Nope, you found a way to put it on the belt. You're good. We're just trying to clear this massive nutrient backlog that we've generated. There's still 250 on this belt for some reason, but as it starts to spoil out, it should reduce the total number of stuff on that belt. You're currently set to what? I think you're fine. Maybe these need to be a little faster for some reason. Okay, 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 okay. Okay. Blues, please. Okay, okay. So you are now at satisfaction, which means any extra jelly nut seeds should be making it out to this orchard. Not quite yet, but we at least satisfied that requester chest. Keep you producing. You have a big backlog of science here, but you're churning through it, and that's okay. It also means you probably just shipped a load of science, so why don't you start on the rocket turret? Because you're going to have some on now this that you'll want to use up. I think I'm more confident in the Gleba base now. I don't have the most confidence, but I think I'm more confident. Oh, these need to get turned on too. Hold on. So they're also going to need the splitter treatment, I guess. And then we also need to upgrade the belt. Speed, 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 speed. You output priority left and then curl in. You output priority left and curl in. Upgrade. And then double stack out. Single blue in. Double stack out, single blue in. More jelly nut is coming in now. So I think this will stabilize. I think this will stabilize all right. I'm really concerned about how little bioflux we have coming down this belt. But as everything else turns on, that should resolve itself. It's not going to. None of your bioflux is running because you don't have enough jelly nut coming in. You need to get more jelly nut, and you need to put all of it into bioflux. You need to go out to another orchard. There's a ton right there. You can go grab that. Actually, maybe even this is enough. Let's see how that does. Because if bioflux runs out, it's a major problem. We definitely can't let that happen. What if you upgrade these too? And then you have these be stacking servers. Just to make sure this is moving as quickly as possible. Good? Okay. Alright, so you're biofluxing. As much as can be expected. You're starting to have healthy amounts of jelly nut come in. It looks like you've managed to plant everything out here. Not quite. You're still catching up. But you're getting there. These would never grab seeds, right? Like if I set you to a filter and I go spoil a gelling, there's no way that a seed could pass through this, right? They should get caught by that splitter. That's not the one you want to get rid of. That's the one you want to get rid of. Just in case, I'm going to give you a bit of a buffer. I'm paranoid that there's seeds that are like slipping through this splitter. Alright, I think Gleba's done. Let's fly the new ship back to Nauvis, and then we will call it a day there. Put me back on the Volcanus Provisioner. But I think everything here is running again. And as we leave, we are watching the copper biochamber shut down. So obviously not everything is fixed. What would lead you to break like that? I guess if all the nutrients on the belt spoil at the same time, then you don't have any to pick up. But, like, you should always be grabbing them. Oh, you're gonna have to fix that. Because you need copper to make LDS. And if you can't make copper, then you can't make LDS. And if you can't make LDS, you can't make rockets. It sucks that we burned a rocket for no reason on Gleba, of all places, but I can't just let that exist like that. I need that process to not shut down. So let's watch it, right? Maybe we can actually catch it failing. You've cleared your nutrients fine, but you're not putting in any new bioflux because there's currently nutrients on the belt. This much we know. We're just waiting for these nutrients to spoil, basically. And then maybe we can figure out what happens to them. Because I think the only way I'm going to be able to debug this is if I catch it in the act. So we'll wait 2.5 minutes. Maybe we can find some other things to do in the meantime. Anything else broken? Yes, your sulfur broke. You're just giving it so much bioflux, though. So you're out of space to unload nutrients. This belt doesn't zigzag enough for you. Give me these, and then let me slurp a little bit off the belt so you can at least empty your hand. And then come back here and check on copper, because these should be about to spoil a minute 25. Find somewhere to put nutrients. You'll do. Your nutrients are about to spoil. So let's see what happens then, because you should just be able to grab them off the belt. Alright, your fuel spoils, you grab them. But then they still don't run. And, oh, the expiration time of the nutrients that you grabbed is the same as the expiration time of the nutrients on the belt. So all of those nutrients expire at the same time. So if by random chance the bioflux to nutrient lab grabs nutrients that have the same expiration timer as the nutrients that are on the belt, it'll seize. If it hasn't put new nutrients on the belt. So how would you fix that? How would one fix such a problem? Also, you have no way of taking spoilage out of this machine right now. I don't immediately know how one would fix such a problem. Except that you shouldn't overproduce nutrients if your machines don't actually need them. Because I guess that's the main culprit. If you have your machines that are producing use up your nutrients, then you're not subject to that issue. But, like, here's a spot where this is turned off. What if... Let's do a little trial run here. Let's enable disable you if nutrients are greater than 1,000, just because I want you to hold. And do that on the logistics network. Like, if you have more than 5 tungsten ore in the logistics network, knock yourself out. Okay? Undo your circuit connection. Wire these machines together. Wire these machines together. All of you are going to read contents and include fuel. Frick. Read contents, include fuel. Have some jelly nut. Have some bioflux. Have some nutrients to get your day going. So you're all reading how much fuel you have right now. You have 9 fuel. If fuel, which is nutrients, is less than 5, is less than 5, then you run. No, that's so much more complicated than it needs to be. It's way more complicated than it needs to be, but you're almost there. This is this. I've never been more confident that this is the solution. You wire this inserter to this biochamber. Include fuel. And then you say, if nutrients are less than 5, you activate. But you also don't want to overload it with bioflux. So I think you also need a decider combinator. And I think you only have to do this for these really low volume cases. So decider combinator here. Uncouple you, you read to here, and then you read to here. So the decider combinator says if bioflux is 15 and you're including fuel, if bioflux is less than 5 and nutrient is 0, then you output green check. And then if you see green check, you run. Then, if I give you nutrient, do you run? You should empty your spoilage. So you have 7 nutrient, which means that you don't need to run. But when this nutrient expires, you should insert bioflux. When you insert bioflux, it'll run. And when it runs, you can pick up your nutrients again. So you expire in 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second. You expire, you turn into spoilage, you grab nutrients. Nutrients are fuel. Oh, it's going to grab nutrients all the time. Yeah. Well, what if you just get rid of that? Then it just runs all the time. And you don't want that to happen. Because it's going to fill that belt. You're so close to this. If there's no nutrients in the machine, you should insert bioflux so that there's nutrients in the machine. So you don't need to read contents. You don't need the decider combinator. You only need to include fuel. No, because you also need to check if there's nutrients on the belt. You do need a decider combinator. And you do need to turn this on again. If... read all belts. If on green, nutrients are less than 100, or on red, nutrients are 0. You should be reading fuel. 92 and 7. You're reading 100. You should be reading 99. I'm not sure why you're reading 100. Output green check. And then if green check is 1, you're on. So steal some nutrients off this belt just to see if you can convince this thing to run. You have a ton of bioflux you have to clear out of it. Right? So you can have nutrient. Off you. You expire in 25 seconds. When you expire, this hand should turn on. And I'm going to say your stack size is 1. Because I don't want to over-insert. Okay. It picks up nutrients again. Off the belt. Oh, because the belt is still going to be over 100. Yeah. Okay. I still think this is right. But I'm going to test it tomorrow. Before you take this rocket, make sure nothing is shut off. Everything is still running. Okay. Travel the space platform, Volcanus Provisioner. Can't help but notice you're not requesting any low-density structures. You're making them, just very slowly. It's okay, we shouldn't need to launch that many rockets. Although, Ag Science is piling up. We might need to make more of those. But if we do, that'll be a test for tomorrow. Or Friday, or whenever we play Factorio again. So let's see how fast you go when you go back to Nox. 220. I would prefer you go a little faster. Considering that, well, you're out of fuel, so it's going to be hard to tell. You're out of fuel, so it's going to be hard to tell. Maybe 220 is not that bad, since you don't run out of fuel. I think it's fine. Well, 240. It picks up a little bit. I think this is a robust design. It doesn't appear to overpopulate the belts too badly. We keep our ice under control, we keep our ammo under control. I think that this is a ship that I can template to the rest of the fleet and be satisfied with it. Let's drop back to Novi's. Let's take a look at what our artillery has done in our absence. We're probably going to need to go to Volcanus next time and move that coal patch. But we can at least transition... Yep, you're dead. You haven't fully emptied yet, but you are done running. So let's clean all of this up. Clean these up. I need this train to stop by the station one more time. Probably 2 more times to empty out the chests, and then we are going to redirect it to the new tungsten patch. As far as artillery goes, artillery has maybe started shooting out here. I can't quite tell, but that looks a little cleaner. Artillery train? What you up to? If I tell you to run, where do you go? You still go up here. Why? You want 402 shells. Where are you still shooting? Let's just watch you for a minute. Input is 402 because that's how many you're requesting, I'm sure. Yeah. So that number is getting smaller. And then where do you take these? You take them down here. You were shooting this way last? What were you shooting here? What a weird place for you to be shooting. Well, at any rate, those look like legitimate requests. I guess we're just building the buffer up now that we've shelled them all. So it's gonna be a little while before the artillery turns on here. But that's all stuff to do next time. For now, I'm gonna go to bed, because it's 2:30 here, and I probably should have been done like 30 minutes ago. If you want to catch Factorio the next time we play, best place to do that is going to be the Discord. You can sign yourself up for stream pings for when we're going live in the future. There's a VODs channel if you want to catch up on the series in the past, and then there's also a YouTube channel if you are a Guild Wars 2 holdover and you've just been hanging out and enjoying the vibes. I will catch you maybe tomorrow, but more likely is going to be Friday to continue on with Factorio. We're going to upgrade the rest of our space fleet, and then we are going to set up automated biolab production and automated prod 3 production, and B, we are going to start to construct the Aquilo ship. so that we can go on to the last planet that we have in the Space Age expansion. I will see you guys around for that, but until then, take care and enjoy the rest of your week. Have a good one.